Hey guys, and welcome back to How to Make Elements from Household Materials. Today's element is going to be sulfur. To start, we can pick up some impure gardening sulfur from a hardware store, which is around 40% sulfur by weight. The remainder of the gardening sulfur is composed of filler material, so this will need to be removed to obtain the pure sulfur. To begin, we can measure out 600 milliliters of xylenes, which can be purchased as a solvent from hardware stores. Next, an arbitrary amount of gardening sulfur can be weighed out. I weighed out 650 grams. The sulfur and xylenes can then be added to a large Erlenmeyer flask, and a condenser can be set up to prepare for reflux. Sulfur is much more soluble in hot xylenes, so by refluxing the mixture, we will better dissolve the sulfur into solution. Once it appears that no more sulfur is dissolving, the hot xylenes can be decanted off into a beaker and allowed to cool to crystallize the extracted sulfur out. The cold xylenes were then put back in the Erlenmeyer flask to dissolve out more sulfur, and these steps were repeated until all of the sulfur was removed from the gardening sulfur. Alternatively, a Soxhlet extractor could be used to cycle xylene over the gardening sulfur to more easily extract everything. After letting the last extraction of sulfur crystallize from the xylenes, the cold xylenes were distilled to purify them, and some residual sulfur and other xylene insoluble impurities remained in the flask. These impurities were discarded. Next, the semi-pure sulfur was recrystallized in batches to fully purify it. The recrystallizations were done by adding some of the sulfur to a 1-liter flask and adding xylenes while heating and stirring until everything dissolved. The hot xylene sulfur solution was then left to slowly cool and recrystallize. After recrystallizing all of the sulfur, it was vacuum filtered, rinsed with a bit of cool xylene, and then rinsed with acetone to help remove the xylenes. The sulfur was spread out to let the acetone evaporate, and then it was powderized in a blender. In total, 233 grams of pure sulfur was obtained, corresponding to an 89.6% recovery based on the starting gardening sulfur concentration. Pure sulfur is a useful reagent to have on hand, and we will be using it in the future to produce a couple of fun sulfur compounds. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you in a future video. Okay, bye.